Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a Legacy video every Friday. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by joining the Patreon. Here you can gain access to a continuously updated sideboard guide and primer on Legacy Doomsday, as well as being able to send private messages. You can join the Patreon by clicking the link in the video description or going to patreon.com/NevilleShootMTG. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Legacy video, and today I am playing Bug Beanstalk. And this is not a deck I've ever recorded with before, so this is the first time for everything. I, like probably a lot of you, have from time to time seen this deck showcased by Bosch and Roll. Brian, I think, really likes this archetype, and I kind of get why. I've been playing it through some leagues. The very first league I tried, I trophied with this deck, so that was awesome. Since then, a couple more leagues, it's been like pretty smooth sailing. No further trophies so far, but who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky today. Contrary to like Grixis Control, a deck that I also showcased on this channel not that long ago, and which is also, I guess, a more fair. Well, Grixis Control is more of a control deck, I think. I feel like this deck has a little bit more of a combo vibe to it, even though it's obviously not a combo deck. But Up the Beanstalk kind of gives you that vibe, I guess. I found a list from the trophy dump and basically adopted it, and I added 2 Cosmogoyfs in my first try with this deck. And while I did trophy, I didn't really get to play a lot of Cosmogoyf, and I don't think the card really did a lot. So I pulled that one out. I added a Quantum Riddler because this card is pretty sweet in this type of deck. It for 1 and a blue, you can warp it, and that will trigger Beanstalk. And then later on, it's just something to do with your mana, and it's a threat. This deck doesn't have a lot of threats. It wins with the 2 Bowmasters or the 3 Murktides, and I guess the Quantum Riddler. Or you could end up in a situation where you can like Witherbloom drain your opponent a couple of times and like buy back the Witherbloom with Mystic Sanctuary or whatever. And then it's just like good bug cards, good Sultai cards, I guess. Here in the sideboard as well. Yeah, let's go jump into a league. All right, round number 1 on the play. Yeah, this works. Let's make it turn 1 basic island Tameo into turn 2 Up the Beanstalk. Opponent has a Tameo. All right. Oof, Fatal Push would be good. Do I try to get my Up the Beanstalk online here? I think I do. They have a force. I think I'll force back. So this seems worth it. And Beanstalk is in. Thoughtseize. Okay, well, we're lacking the black mana. They pitched a Murktide. They Thoughtseize me? Sure. Come see what I got. They take my Thoughtseize. Another Thoughtseize, okay. Well, I couldn't cast any of those anyways. Ooh. This is certainly exciting. I'm going to attack here, and I think I just crack my clue, like one of the clues here, before they are able to play Orcish Bowmasters next turn. Yeah, it plays into them having third Thoughtseize, but I'm okay with that. Here comes the Tameo Beats. Oh, and they missed their land drop. Advantage burns. Here comes my Tameo. Here comes second Wasteland. Wasteland, such a joyous magic card. I think I'm going to flip my Tameo now. They would need another force here. They might have it, but they might also not. Okay, and Witherbloom is pretty nice. In fact, let's put that one away so they can't like rip Thoughtseize here. Plus the Tameo. See you never. Play creature Tameo and pass. And they concede, yeah. That's just how Wasteland works sometimes. So we're in some kind of Tameo mirror. Carpet Flowers is probably good. Third Bowmasters, first Barrowgoyf. Probably worthwhile. What do we cut here? Maybe we cut a Daze. And the Stifle. And what else? The Hill Spellbomb, I'm not going to cut that. This might still be Demure Reanimator. I guess I'll cut... It's Lorien Revealed or the Quantum Riddler. I'll cut one Lorien Revealed. Yeah, this hand seems keepable. Ponder, okay. Well, 2 can play that game, mister. No shuffle on the Ponder. This gives me the opportunity to play basics here. I think I'm going to do that. How upset am I if they daze my Tameo here? I think I'm just going to Ponder. Force of Will, Riddler. I guess I'll have to take the Force of Will in case they are an Entomb strategy, but I don't think there's anything... Like, if they're not a Reanimator deck, there's nothing I would want to Force of Will here on turn 2. I'm going to play my Tameo and pass. It smells like Bowmasters. It is Entomb. Can I afford this? I think I have to. I'll pitch the Riddler. Sometimes, like, these decks, this is just a Hymn to Torah for 1 mana at instant speed. Because they only play 5 animation spells. Alright, they kept the card on top, and then they shuffle. Interesting. Dauthi Voidwalker. Okay, that's gonna wreak havoc on my my Murktide at some point. Okay, I think I will cast... I'm gonna fetch basic... wait, did I have that fetch land play? Yeah, I did. I should have fetched... Oh, that was a punt with the Dauthi Voidwalker on the stack. Punterino. But anyways, I'm gonna fetch this basic Swamp here, and then I'm gonna cast up the Beanstalk. Alright, we get the basic Swamp, and we cast our Beanstalk. And that's in... There's a Fatal Push. That's pretty nice. I'm gonna Ponder. Carpet Flowers, boom. Oh, all good cards here. I guess I will take Brainstorm and then the Carpet. Oh, I forgot. Not tracking my draws here. Yeah, because of the Beanstalk, of course. Okay, so Tameo plus is here. I was thinking, oh, I have Tameo. So I missed the attack there with Tameo as well. That's not ideal. And now they have a Brainstorm. What do I have in exile that they can cast? Just a fetch land and a Ponder. There's a Wasteland, okay. And a Tameo. Alrighty. And my Tameo is being attacked. Alright, let's see here what they can do. I'm going to start by casting Fatal Push on this Dauthi. Okay, my Tameo will plus. I'll cast Brainstorm. I'll put away Wasteland and Tameo, I think. And then I will fetch a green source and play my Carpet. Please don't have Daze. Okay, Carpet is in. And I think I'll just make some blue mana and cast Murktide. We draw a card. And we have a 7/7. And we pass. This is the biggest turn of the game for me, I think. Like, if they don't play something crucial here, I think I'm pretty far ahead. They can attack with Tameo, but they would probably want to have a Brainstorm if they were going to do that. Or else they just think like, exchanging Tameo for a clue token is worth it. Okay, never mind. Here comes a fetch land. They did have the brainstorm. Okay, sure. So Tamiyo flips. Some edict or something that kills my Murktide or a bitter triumph or whatever it's called would be very big here. They plus their Tamiyo. And oh, they have the bitter triumph. Okay, nice. And they reanimate their Dothy Voidwalker. Okay. And I think I'm going to hold off with this carpet. And I'll cast Brainstorm. Okay. We can kill the Tamiyo or we can kill the Dothy here. I think maybe getting rid of the Dothy is more pressing. Then we can bring, like, at some point get back Witherbloom. I don't know. Okay. Gonna put back Polluted Delta and Brainstorm, and then I'll draw Brainstorm next turn. I'll move to second main. I'll trigger this, and I'll make... I can't do everything here. No, I guess I can. I'll make green. Yeah. All right, let's do it like this. So I will trigger the up. I cast up the Beanstalk. I trigger that. That draws me the Brainstorm. And then I cast Brainstorm, which gets me a fetch land. Oh, and a Fatal Push. That's even better. Let's get back, put back one Bowmasters. Tell you what, I'll put back the Witherbloom command as well. I'll hide that. And then I will Fatal Push the Dothy here. So many, I'm spoiled for choice here. I'll plus my own Tamiyo. And then, you know what, I am going to fetch away the Witherbloom. Kind of sucks, but I do want to cast this Bowmasters and make them minusing Tamiyo for the reanimate, cost them the Tamiyo. Okay, there we go. A lot of stuff to take into consideration here. Ooh, a Barrogoyf. Sure. And Barrogoyf and Tamiyo plus is here. Alright, I think I'm going to rebuy. I'm just going to pass on this, and then I'm going to rebuy the Fatal Push. And then I'm going to fetch Hedge Maze, and then I'm going to kill the Barrogoyf. I'll take a Shieldred's Edict next turn. Kill your Barrogoyf. So next turn they can minus the Tamiyo, get reanimate, bring back Barrogoyf. Then I can buy back my Fatal Push. It'll cost me my Tamiyo. Then I will kill their Tamiyo, kill their Barrogoyf, and have two Bowmasters. Yep. Okay, they just drew a reanimate. Never mind. They can buy back the Bitter Triumph then if they want. And that is what they're doing. Okay. They kill my Tamiyo. Right, okay. But that's okay, because now I then get to do things in different order. So I'll trigger this. I'll make black, I guess. I'll cast this. I'll say each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. And then I'm going to attack Tamiyo. They play a Surveilland. Put away a Wasteland. Another Dothy Voidwalker. I draw Wasteland. It's not too exciting. So they have Brainstorms, Ponders, and Verdant Catacombs in my exile zone in the void. All right, let's attack. They go to 5. I go to 11. They go to 3. I go to 8. They go to 1. I go to 5. They're dead. I think I might just Wasteland them here. Actually, no. Let's keep the Wasteland in case I draw Brainstorm. Okay, they draw. That's going to cost them. The price is right. The price is right. Here comes the friend. And it's my turn. Petty theft on my army. Yep. That makes sense. They can replay the army. Oh, come on, deck. Ugh. Okay, we have to just attack here, but that was really bad. drawing these lands sort of in a row. Here comes the petty theft. I'm at 5, so not sure how I get get back from this. I guess if I can remove one of the creatures, that buys me an extra turn. I lost. I don't know that I changed anything here. Maybe I want my second stifle, or daze rather, before I want what, the Quantum Riddler maybe. I have to mulligan this, lose the Wasteland hand, and I'll keep this. I'll bottom a Force of Will, and I will fetch basic island and cast. I will take the Wasteland and pass turn. Opponent just played Delta Go. Okay. Now I kind of regret not drawing that other fetch land. We fetch Trop and cast up the Beanstalk, which is in. Sweet. Alright, pass. They have a Brainstorm. Fetch Underground Sea. Tamiyo. Okay. I think I try and get them with the Wasteland here. Might be a bit haphazardous of me. Do I bet against them having another Brainstorm? I think I'm gonna try and kill the Tamiyo. Alright, so I'm gonna cast the Witherbloom and destroy target on... Oh, it says not... Oh, never mind. Yeah, I can't do that. Needs to be the Planeswalker mode before I can do that. Guess I'll just try and Fatal Push it here. I'll Force of Will a Brainstorm if they didn't have one. And I'll pass the turn. Now they can fetch their clue, like crack their clue. Safe from Bowmasters. They Wasteland me. Alright. I have been Wastelanded. Thoughtseize, huh? I think I will force the Thoughtseize just to basically cycle this daze. That was nice. They have Tamiyo. I think I will... No, I think I will cast the Bargain here. Get a trigger. I want to do it now while they're tapped. Draw my own Tamiyo. I take Force of Will and Murktide. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to let them entomb. Then I'll Force of Will the reanimation spell, hopefully. And then I have a Nihil Spellbomb next turn. Reanimate. I'm going to pitch Tamiyo. I draw. It's forced. They get their clue. Carpet is pretty nice. And let's pass into the second main. Alright. We will choose... I think we just choose blue here. And then we're going to cast the Murktide. Cast Murktide. We draw a card. It's another Beanstalk. And let's cast the Spellbomb. And we'll pass. Sure. Undercity Sewers. I think I will pop my Spellbomb at end of turn here. It's a little bit annoying if they have a Bowmasters, but I think I just want to draw the card, move on with life. They would need another Entomb on top of another animation spell to like punish that. Animate Dead. Well, I mean, I'm gonna nuke this, so hopefully they don't have Stifle. So their graveyard is gone. And we take our turn. Draw a Murderous Cut. Let's make some black mana. And then I'm actually going to fetch Mystic Sanctuary here. And get back the Rakshas's Bargain for maximum grossness. That grows the Murktide. And then I'm going to kill their Tamiyo. That's going to draw the Bargain. And I will attack. And I guess I will drain them for 2. And I'll mill myself. Oops. Try this again. No. This again. Target player mills. Target opponent loses 2. I'll mill myself. I'll drain you. I'll grab a wasteland. I'll waste the Undercity Sewers and pass. Hey, we get there, finally. We're 1-0. Let's go for number 2. All right, on the draw for round number 2, we get a cantrip heavy hand. I think we have to keep this. So let's go ahead and do that. I think I just fetch basic island and cast Ponder. Do I think Wasteland is going to pay off here? I think I'm going to shuffle these. We draw on land. Savannah and Underground Sea. Oh, a Beanstalk Mirror. This is like a Leyline Binding Beanstalk Mirror. And they have the first Beanstalk. That's brutal. Alright, let's cast a Brainstorm and get rid of Mystic Sanctuary and basic Swamp. And we will get a Tropical Island here. Cast a Ponder. Our own Beanstalk and a Daze. I think we take this. Leave Beanstalk on top so they can't Thoughtseize it. Okay, so now they have achieved 1 mana Leyline Binding. Yeah, let's cast our own Beanstalk. They Force of Will. I think I Force of Will back. I will pitch Ponder. I think Daze might actually pay off here. I'm not sure. Okay, my Beanstalk is in. Get the fuck out of here. I feel like I've lost this game already. Like, the card advantage they're getting here is just too grand. Okay, let's pass. More Beanstalk. I feel like I am getting to a point where I can basically never win here. Guess I could kill one of their Beanstalks. Let's try that. Target player mills 3. That can be me. And then destroy target non-creature and non-land permanent. Target player, target Beanstalk. Okay. I guess I'll pick up a polluted Delta here. I was going to fetch that second Underground Sea, but now that has to be a tropical island. And I mean, what are the odds that the opponent can't handle a Murktide here? I think they're pretty small. Yeah, imagine if I had that. Oops. Imagine if I had that Beanstalk in play. Would have been a pretty big difference maker. Yeah, okay. I'm going to concede and move on to game number 2. Second Leyline Binding cannot be beaten here. So the Force of Vigors seem very appealing. Third Bowmaster, I think even second Tarmogoyf is pretty good. Force of Negation, I like. They showed us the red mana from the Triome land, but I don't expect them to have red. Maybe they have red blast, I don't know. Carbon of Flowers seems good. I'm going to board out the Nihil Spellbomb and some Fatal Pushes. They might have Bowmasters. Stifle can go. I'll get rid of 1 Murderous Cut. Actually, no, I think they probably play Murktide. Let's push, I guess. I don't know, like, the Quantum Riddler has honestly not seemed very good at any point. I guess I'll cut Lorien Revealed. Maybe it should be the Riddler. I kind of keep wanting to test it in this deck. All right. Yeah, this works. Let's cast Ponder. Getting a Beanstalk here would be pretty good. I don't want the second cut, but I do want both Carpet and the Rakshas's Bargain. I can Lorien Revealed next turn. And they have a Carpet. Fun. Okay. So I am going to trigger this for black mana. And then I'm going to cast this Witherbloom command. I'm going to mill myself and destroy their Carpet. This might be worth a Force of Will for them. They have a Beanstalk here. I am going to Force of Vigor this and the carpet before they draw. Okay, and then I'm going to Island Cycle on my upkeep. I don't want to draw the second Murderous Cut. Murktide Regent. Guess I will try and play old Murky Murk. Oh, I can't. Never mind. I don't have the mana. Bowmasters. I think I'll just cut that. What's best here? Up the Beanstalk, maybe? Yeah, let's not trigger that. Instead, I will float a Wasteland. I don't think I'm supposed to kill any of their lands here. They play the Triome, or like if they get a white source, like they have perfect Sultai colors here. I can't take them off anything. Beanstalk. Yeah. I was worried about that. I mean, that is what this whole matchup is about. Draw Daze. Yuck. I'm gonna make red mana and pass, so I don't have to trigger it twice. I suppose I could play the Murktide as a 4/4. I don't know. They're getting back Force of Will. Must be nice. Okay, well, they're hard casting Lorien Revealed. I'm gonna daze that before they draw the Force of Will, which they are going to draw, because that's how Up the Beanstalk works. Brainstorm. Why don't we cast this Brainstorm before the Carpet trigger? They can force this if they want to get aggro. They do, okay. Force pitching, Force of Negation, they draw a card. And then I cast my Murktide. And just pass. Still no white source, which is what I'm mostly interested in casting a Wasteland on. Oh, now they find ways. Wow, Brainstorm. There is a Leyline Binding. Eats my Murktide. We're still not completely out of this yet, but it is, like, I think we're one more negative exchange away from being completely out of it. I'm going to Wasteland this Tundra, get that white mana away from us. Second Force of Vigor here would be amazing. Or, you know, I could draw land. Make red, pass. Another Bowmasters, okay. This seems like a very hard matchup. I would like to, you know, hear what people more experienced with this type of archetype feel, but yeah, it's basically the mirror, but it has white as what feels like a complete spoiler. I think, like, drawing second Force of Vigor here might still, like, hypothetically do something. Hedge Maze, Up the Beanstalk. I don't think I can afford that with the Bowmasters. Maybe that's wrong, I don't know. Okay, Tamiyo. Tamiyo will at least take some pressure off. They don't attack. Interesting. Let's make some blue mana here, and I'm gonna cast this Ponder. My own Bowmasters. That's actually pretty interesting. Okay, I'm gonna take Quantum Riddler here. Let's see where they point the damage at. Point it at me. Okay. So if Quantum Riddler resolves, then I mean we're gonna take some more pings off of the Bowmaster. But if they have a Force of Will here, it's completely over. Okay, they didn't. So now we draw 2 cards. And now Tamiyo flips. Oh, again, I just miscount the Tamiyo. Let's plus that. And let's kill their Bowmasters. Incidentally making future Beanstalk triggers a little bit less comfortable. Play our second Tamiyo. Yeah, that was such a punt. I guess I'm not a very good Tamiyo player. Hopefully their hand is like nothing but white cards. Surely you attack there, right? I draw 2 because of that's how Quantum Riddler works. I'm gonna wait here. I'll play this Wasteland, and then I will attack with Riddler and Tamiyo. Alright, I'm gonna make some black mana here. And I'm gonna start off by drawing 2 cards off of this clue. Okay. That flips second Tamiyo. Oh man, I'm not on top of things here. If I wanted this, I could have gotten like 2 Tameo activations. I'm not sure I would have wanted that anyways, but alright, I want to keep the one with 4 counters, please. Let's plus her. Alright, I think I cast my Bowmasters here. Because I'm greedy. I want to cast this Brainstorm and draw 4. Let's ping them. And let's cast Brainstorm. Script gets flipped here if they actually have a second Bowmasters. I guess that would be a third Bowmasters. Okay. Man, wow. Quantum Riddler. I was just giving him shit. And Quantum Riddler, I dare say, single-handedly turned this game 2 on its head. Wow. Also, like, them getting punished by their mana base was also very important. They're only finding one white source. They probably do have the red blasts. I think I'm going to cut a daze on the draw and put back like a Lauren revealed, because I think the late game might be what this game gets down to. Alright, I think I keep this, but I'm not thrilled, but we have Beanstalk, we have Thoughtseize, we have like a lot of good 1-mana spells here. The Rakshasa's Bargain is a little bit... Turn 1 Brainstorm. All you kids out there, I know with the, you know, the Lorien reveals and whatnot, back in my day, you never turn 1 to Brainstorm unless you were like a combo deck and had, like, almost had the win. Alright, well, I'm gonna Thoughtseize here. I don't think they're playing Wasteland. Force of Will, Uro, and Wrath of the Skis. And no white mana. Well, 1 white mana. Alright, I'm gonna take the Force. Uro is like going to be a recurring problem, but they're not particularly close. They find the Beanstalk. Oh, that's good. But I also have a Beanstalk if I can hit a land. No. Okay. Let's cast Ponder. Okay. I am going to take this Trop and pass. There is Uro. Okay. Now, what do I do here? Do I try and spike a land? I think I do. Maybe that's just greedy. Yeah. Ugh. The maximum punish. Well, I think I just lost myself the game there. The other plan would be to just cast Beanstalk, know that I would miss my land drop, but then have a much better Brainstorm next turn. They get Tundra here, I'm sure. No, okay, well, better Tundra. They like what they found. Something is being cast for a lot of mana. Is this 4th Erlingus? Oof, that is spicy. That is the game, I think. I take 6 a turn and they draw many, many cards. Yeah, that's probably it, right? I could try and cast this and make target player mill and destroy target non-creature. So I could mill myself, kill the Beanstalk, and then get back my Misty Rainforest and Murderous Cut one of the Horsies. Okay, let's get this Misty. And then what's the plan? They're still like drawing a million cards. I guess I just push here, right? Then we pass. We take 4 down to 6, and they draw an extra card. They shuffle the Ponder. Another Beanstalk. I think my best draw here is probably, or possibly, Wasteland to take them off the Meticulous Archive. Mystic Sanctuary. So let's cast Beanstalk here. And then Murderous Cut the 1 horse. Oh, they have Force for this Beanstalk. Brutal. Guess I kill the horse before they can draw another. And we pass. Well, I still think this matchup is pretty difficult, but that last game kind of gave me hope. They probably bring back the Force of Will here. No, a Ponder. Okay. That makes me think they have a Force. So many gross up the Beanstalks. Shuffle again. I guess they could have also brought back the 4th. What do I want back here, if anything? I don't think I actually want anything here. I just No, I don't. Maybe I should have taken the Wither Bloom. Yeah, that was a punt. Okay, I was allowed to do that. I thought I had gone too far in a few places. Okay, so I want to kill their horsey. Oh, hang on. I said non-token. I meant token. Creature token. Sacrifice a creature token. They still have the Uro just casually floating about in their graveyard. And I think I pass here with Bowmasters. It was between that and playing up the Beanstalk. They basically have to force this, I think. Because even if they kill the Bowmasters after it's in play, I get to take the Monarchy. So I don't see how they cannot force this. Oh. Well, maybe they just have 2 removal spells. They have Bowmaster. Okay, well that makes sense. Wither Bloom command. Okay, well. Alright, I'm going to send in the attack. They trade with the army. And then I try and Wither Bloom their Bowmaster. Target creature gets -3/-1. Target player mills 3 cards. I want to be that target player, and I want that creature to get -3/-1. Okay. Force of Will on the hard cast. Draw a bunch of cards. Guess I'll try and make a Murktide here. I fully expect them to have this covered with their singleton white mana here. They could also have a Pyroblast, I guess. Carpet of Flowers. You got it. Leyline Binding. If I were not on such a low life total, maybe I could, you know, summon up a mild hope that I could make the opponent deck themselves. They also seem to have completely forgotten that they have Uro in the graveyard. A lot of black mana. More Bowmasters. Post-combat. Okay. Way more Bowmasters. So many Bowmasters. I'm at 1. I could have been dead. Alright. GG's opponent. Alright. On the draw for round number 3. I have to mulligan this hand. No lands, unfortunately. Well, this has lands. I guess I'll keep, but it is like pretty bad. But no, we have the Lorn revealed, so it's not the end of the world. Let's play a Wasteland. Underground Sea. Is this Entomb? I think I let this happen, and then I force, and then I Wasteland. Potentially 2 Wastelands. I'm assuming they have another land since they went for the Entomb into my Wasteland here. Yep, there's the second land. Force of Will, Pitch Ponder. Force of Will, Pitch Force of Will, Force of Will, Pitch Tameo. And they had a second. Oh, seriously. Okay, what's my road out of this? Is to draw a Murderous Cut. Okay, let's get Underground Sea and hope and pray for a Murderous Cut. Or a Shoulder's Edict. Oh, my goodness. So, do they also have a Daze after all of this? Sacrifice a non-token creature. I am seriously quitting Magic. Alright, opponent, you got me. Double reanimate, no, not double, but double reanimate, Force of Will, and Daze. I am outraged. Carpet of Flowers, Grafdigger's Cage, Fairy Macabre, maybe was that one too many? Graveyard things. I think it's maybe fine. Get rid of Stifle, get rid of Rakshasa's Bargain. Get rid of one of the Wither Blooms. Get rid of Quantum Riddler and Lorien Revealed, I think. Maybe it's one of the removal spells, actually. Hang on. Maybe 4 Fatal Push is too many. Well, let's keep this. I am going to play out my Tameo. That takes me off a blue card for Force of Will. But, you know, it's, I have the Fairy Macabre if they go for the turn 1 send. They can't go for the turn 1 send anyways, because that's not how Reanimator is built these days. Legal land go. I draw Wasteland. I think I'm going to attack first. They might give me a target for Wasteland. Guess not. Alright. Back to you. I think I'm actually going to crack the clue right now. Because I really would like to not get gotten by Orcish Bowmasters. And it's not like I'm forcing anything anyways so that a Daze would be important. Daze can't get Fairy Macabre. So yeah, I think this is... I'm happy with this. Here comes Ponder. Ponder shuffles, okay. And a Thoughtseize, sure. They take my Fairy Macabre. Boo. I'm gonna attack with Tamiyo here. And then I'm gonna cast and take these two wasteland, or this wasteland, this up the Beanstalk. More lands, you scoundrel. Entomb. I mean, I am gonna force it, and this time it will probably be incorrect, where it would have been correct before. Force back. Okay. So they just have it here, I guess. Would be shocked if they didn't also have the reanimate. Yes, of course. This is me not being bitter at all. So what? I'm drawing Beanstalk. Underneath it is a wasteland. I guess I will take my chances here. I'll get rid of the Mystic Sanctuary. There still is a chance that there's a removal spell underneath the second wasteland here. Oh, I was about to draw. Not gonna do that. Let's pass. And I am gonna sack the, discard the Barrowgoyf rather than the Wasteland to the trigger here, because the Wasteland means I can draw and still have 2 mana up if I draw with the clue token. That is not it. Let's draw. That's a Ponder. It's a cast Ponder looking for, oh, the tease. If this was a Murderous Cut, we at least would be able to put it on the stack. Shuffle and get the Edict anyways. GG's opponent. Alright, on the draw for round number 4. Let's keep this hand. We're up against Fenris Cloud, who I think is also like a content creator and plays a lot of Infect, if memory serves. This hand is okay versus Infect, at least on the face of it. Alright, Misty Rainforest go. 2 can play that game, Hoss. Hedge Maze. So our opponent being an Infect player is certainly still possible here. They could also be playing Nadu or Beanstalk. I think I'll fetch my Hedge Maze as well. I'll take a Ponder. Yeah. So I'm going to Ponder this turn and then play Beanstalk next turn to not play into Daze. I think resolving this Beanstalk is going to be pretty big. Ooh, do I want Double Force or Bowmasters? I think I want Double Force for when I have Beanstalk online, and then Bowmasters can always come in. And I mean, if we don't have to do anything, which it looks like we do not, then we can just play Beanstalk like this and then have draw the Bowmasters next turn. I mean, obviously I am prepared to fight for my right to Beanstalk here. They Force of Will, pitching Force of Will. I'll Force of Will pitch Rakshasa's Bargain. So Beanstalk is in, Beanstalk draws Bowmasters. We pass. And they just pass again. Wow, they're mana screwed over there. So I could play a Murktide, but I would have to tap out. I think I'm just going to pass with Bowmasters up. There was Ponder. You probably guessed this, opponent. And if they Force of Will this, I'll just let it go. Okay, Bowmasters, it would appear, is in. Yes, and Ponder is happening. Tell you what I would like to. I would like to draw a Wasteland. Opponent does not shuffle. Okay. They found their land. No longer as interested in Wasteland. I think I might just spend some mana here and make a 5/5 Murktide that cantrips. I'll leave up black mana. Beanstalk triggers. We draw Lauren Reeled. Nice. Little bit suspicious about if this was Infect, how they've not played a creature and it's turn 6. So it's probably not Infect. Okay, never mind, it is Infect. Okay, I'm gonna untap here. So I don't want to lose to a daze. And then I am going to -3, -1 here, plus mill myself. Target player, target creature. It's gonna cost them some pump spells here. They might have Legolas's quick reflexes and kill my Bowmasters. But you know, so be it. I guess no, this is when it becomes tapped. Yeah, okay, so so that fizzled. I guess I will attack here. I'm just gonna send with everything. And I'm okay trading Bowmasters for this Blighted Agent. And I'll pass. They're gonna need to kill me through push plus Force of Will, plus whatever Beanstalk draws. Which is not impossible, but I guess I could push and then force, and then if they do something, you know, and then I can trigger, get Mystic Sanctuary off this Delta, get back a Fatal Push. I'll tell you what, Shieldred's Edict might be even better, like if they have the reflexes. Yeah, but like, Infect untapping on turn 7 for the first time with a creature in play can't be part of the plan, so I think they've drawn pretty poorly. Invigorate. Invigorage. I mean, this could just be the end of me. I can't block this. Alright, I think I have to let this one go. I am worried about a second copy of Reflexes. Embiggen. So what happens if I Fatal Push now, and then they Reflexes, then I can still force the Embiggen. Okay. So I mean, they get us here if they just have one more pump spell. Well, I mean, it has to be either, I think, Embiggen. I can't remember how many subtypes here. They daze. Why are they dazing? Is it because they have Flusterstorm? I don't get this. I mean, I'm not paying for the daze. No, thank you. And then I will force pitching Murktide. I draw. Embiggen is countered. Do they have the other pump spell? My Bowmasters is dead. And Brainstorm. Okay. That might find them what they need here. Berserk or... Is Embiggen? No, that's an instance. Well, they know if they've lost or not. Because I do have Major Lethal coming back at them. But yeah, this was... I don't know. I mean, it's not like holding back a creature matters. This can't be blocked. Alright, and they lost. So that felt kind of close. Okay, so another Bowmasters seems good. Stress down matter. The stress down must remove infect. I've never really had that come up, but I think so. I think Force of Negation is also pretty good. I guess Stifle can go. Spellbomb can go. And Aloran Reveal can go. Yep, this is a keeper. I guess the daze was to have a better brainstorm, like be able to find 2 cards. So that's a nice play. Ponder does not shuffle. So I can play Tameo, or I could hold up the mana to cycle Aloran Revealed and be guaranteed my turn 2 land drop. I think having Tameo in is kind of nice. Ugh. Alright, I'm gonna Ponder here instead of Aloran Revealed. I think I'm going to... No, I'm gonna hold back Tameo as a blocker. There's a Blighted Agent. And, that was a punt. I should have cycled. Or, rather, gotten the thing. The Hedge Maze, I think? Okay, I think I will attack now, and... Yeah, try and shake that off. And probably Bowmasters, one of their things. Like, have them commit to something. Alright, so we animate the Ink Moth. Here come the beats. think I will try the Bowmasters here. They, like, if they have a daze, they have a daze. But then we still get to play on. I would like to kill the Ink Moth here. Veil of Summer. Oh, oi, oi, oi. Well, Force of Will. Okay, Veil of Summer countered Orcish Bowmaster. Target the Ink Moth. That dies. That was nice. Nice little exchange. I think I'd take a turn off here with up the Beanstalk. Let's attack with these two, and I'll keep back Tamiyo to block the Ink Moth. Can't block the Blighted Agent. Here comes the Hedge Maze. Keep it on top. Scary. Third Ink Moth and another Blighted Agent. Yikes. Animate the Ink Moth. I block the Ink Moth. I take a poison counter. Come on, deck. Okay, I'm gonna Murderous Cut one of the Blighted Agents. I draw. Still no land. I attack here. They might kill the orc. Oh, no, okay. Sylvan Library. Sure. I mean, that could kill us because it's a good magic card. Okay. But it also is punished by Orcish Bowmasters. Another Bowmasters. Are you seriously not going to give me another land ever? Okay, I'm going to ponder looking for the third land. Okay. Let's attack here. And I guess I am going to play out this Bowmasters right now. They can daze. They didn't have daze before. Okay, my Bowmasters is in. I mean, they probably have Veil of Summer here, so my army is going to attack for one fewer, but I still think it's worth trying to put this on here. Okay, they animate a creature for some reason. And, oh, because they want to block. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so they get to kill, no, they, yeah, okay, they can tap, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they kill both of our Bowmasters, but then they also lose their one friend. But now their library is online, which is nice for them. But we have sort of eaten our way through a lot of creatures here. Basically, 2 Inkmoth Nexus, Nexi, and 2 Blighted Agents. And once I untap, I can Wasteland their Inkmoth. Animate the Inkmoth. Ponder Shuffled. Tamiyo just being Wall of Blossoms here, or whatever. Invigorate. Okay. Kill my Tamiyo. You have 1 card left. Your creature is about to get got. I think I will just try and make this a lethal attack next turn. Plus draw a card. There's Thoughtseize. I think I knew that one was there. Let's kill the Ink Moth. And attack. They have 1 card in hand. And 4 life. So they can't draw an extra card here. And we got it. Sweet. Off to the final round. Positive record on the line. Alright. On the draw for the final round. I'm going to keep this hand. That's pretty sweet. A little bit soft to Wasteland, but yeah, that can be said of a lot of Magic the Gathering Legacy hands. Another Underground Sea deck. Thoughtseize, okay. And the Thoughtseize relieves us of our Tamiyo. That's not what we wanted. Another removal spell here. Wow, they just naturally randomly find the Undersea. Ugh, that's so gross. Thoughtseize. Yeah. Suddenly our options have dwindled rapidly. They take our Force of Will. Okay. They need to find. I need to use a Hedge Maze here. Which is unfortunate because I have no green cards but 4 black cards in my hand. But that's the way we've built this mana base. Obviously, best draw probably is Nihil Spellbomb here. I'll take a Brainstorm. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. I'll put back the 2 cantrips. I guess maybe the Bowmaster. No, yeah, no. 2 cantrips. Put those back. Don't want those discarded. They knew I had force, so they knew they couldn't just go reanimate last turn. Ponder, okay. Maybe they're looking for the reanimate. That's our best hope. They shuffle, okay. Oh, Wasteland, no! Oh my god, okay. They shuffle, that's at least something, but yeah. It's gonna be a long couple of turns here. Past the turn. And they just have the run of the... What's that expression? I keep forgetting. Alright, I'm gonna pass and discard a Fatal Push here. Is this Brazen Borrower? Another Wasteland, nice. Okay, well, I mean, this was at least a land, and so we can go looking for more lands here. Maybe our opponent has a Daze. Nope. These don't work. Let's shuffle. Oh, that was pretty good. And we just remain at any point dead to a reanimate. They get their third ponder. Will they find what they're looking for? They shuffle again. Okay. We're somehow still playing the game here. Wasteland. Okay. The question kind of becomes, do I play around a third Wasteland here? I don't think I can. They know I have Bowmasters. They don't know I have Brainstorm. Wouldn't they have just cast the Bowmasters if they had it? I think they would have. Okay, I'm gonna get Underground Sea and cast Brainstorm here. Force of Will my Brainstorm. Okay, that's interesting. I think I just cast the Bowmasters right now. Kill their guy, pass a turn, make all future cantrip draws worse for them. I don't think there's a reason to give them like the chance to draw Force of Will or something. I'm still like in big trouble here. Okay, that's at least that's good. So I'm gonna attack, and then I'm gonna play Murktide. I could also play Wither Bloom, but I don't think that does enough right now. Tamiyo, okay. Tamiyo is not Tamiyo is not a reanimate, so. And if I can Fatal Push this Tamiyo, that means reanimate is off the table once I attack. Well, we got lucky there. Opponent had a lot of looks at reanimate, but they also got lucky that they just randomly surveilled their creatures, so I'm not going to feel too bad about that. Let's get the graveyard stuff, the Bowmasters, the Barragoyf, and the Carpet. We can get rid of Stifle and Lorien Revealed. And like a Fatal Push or two. Oh, Wither Bloom. And I think Rakshasa is just, it's a bit too clunky. I think we keep this. Wow, opponent's down to 5 cards. Tamiyo. I am going to Force of Will Tamiyo so quickly. Please don't have Daze. Please don't have Daze. Yeah, put them only into 5. I don't want them to have Tamiyo. Not now, not ever. And I think I will get basic Swamp here and just Thoughtseize. Please don't show me like land, Atraxa or some shit like that. Fatal Push and Entomb. Let's get rid of the Entomb. I think I'm just going to cycle the Quantum Riddler here. Put him into the Warp Zone. Wasteland. They fetch in response. They again, opponent. Holy cannoli! That is disgusting. Disgusting, I tell you. They found a land, so like wastelanding them isn't even going to take them off black. Oh, let's cast Brainstorm here. Alright, I think my plan is now going to be to resolve Murktide next turn. So that means I have to play Mystic Sanctuary, and then I'm gonna Thoughtseize. What's this? Is this Petty Theft? Yeah, okay. Well, at least that doesn't get to stick around and bounce my Murktide. Okay. 2 turns from now, I can cast the Quantum Riddler, but now they found it. Okay. Very nice. Mulligan to 5 there from the opponent. Final game coming up. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. Let's cast the Spell Bomb off of Underground Sea. Yeah, we can get blown out by Wasteland, but same old, same old. Okay, Spellbomb is in. Maybe I was too aggressive, force of willing that Tamiyo in the last game. And can I draw land here? I can, but it's not the right one. Let's brainstorm. Oh, come on! Oh, god damn it. Sorry for my grunting sounds. There we go, pass the turn. And they have the brainstorm. Nice. And a wasteland. My biggest weakness. Let's play our own Tamiyo. And we'll pass. They have push for my Tamiyo. So I'll draw the second Murderous Cut here. Is that it? And then pass. They put Tamiyo up to 8. And then I lose. There's no getting out from under this. Yeah, second wasteland, GG's. Alright. Alright, so a 2-3 record here. I did not like how this league played out at all. I am very much aware that I'm not piloting this deck anywhere close to optimal, but I mean, I beat what did I beat aside from Infect? Was my other win against Dimir Reanimator, I think, maybe in round 1. And then I lost to the 5-color Beanstalk deck. I lost to Dimir Reanimator here at the end, and I can't remember the last loss I took. But I mean, this deck, it feels sweet on paper, but then there's something about it. Like, several times I felt like the mana base was a little bit of an issue. There were times when I wanted a basic forest. There were times when I wanted Bayou. Having the second tap land in Mystic Sanctuary was also a problem at times. But I'm very much willing to concede that I just need more reps with a deck like this, but I'm not. I guess it's also, maybe it's a little bit out of favor now. I don't know. I haven't seen Bosch and Roll play it for a while. Pokemokey, I don't know. Yeah. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on if this deck is good right now, if this league is at all representative of how it holds up. This card, Rakshas's Bargain, has felt clunky in almost every time I've had it in my hand. Does this belong in the deck? Riddler was bad, I think, or mediocre in every game except for the one game where he completely stole a march on the opponent and basically conquered that game on his own. Yeah, interesting. Alright, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really do appreciate it, and I'll be back with some more Legacy. Bye-bye.